Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop. So today we've got the next pack of the Toyota Supra. Now I wasn't really expecting it, but we've got a large chunk of metal in this box. As you can see, quite a large box to the side of me. We've actually got the primary part of the chassis. So we've got the front sub-assembly that we worked on recently and the engine, because that's all going to get bolted together today. So let's get into it. Let's get building.
Welcome to the workshop, tools in the light, screws and glue, they're holding it tight. Piece by piece, it's a builder's delight, making dreams in the still of the night. Let's get into it, let's get building now. Put it all together, I'll show you how. Screw by screw and a little glue too. Welcome to the workshop, it's waiting for you.
Right, so we'll kick off this build pack with issue 21. But first, I will say we've got our free gift. Now, this seems to be a very common thing that we get our metal license plate. So I'll just get this open. It's probably going to be pretty much the same as we always get. So, as you can see, it's pressed metal and looks just like that. So, make some space on the wall for that one, because I'm not sure I've got quite a bit enough space at the moment, but I'm sure that'll go on the wall somewhere. Right, so issue 21. And as per usual, I'll give you a flick through the magazines. Now, I haven't yet closed the poll whether I show you these magazines right at the beginning or each stage, or don't show you them at all. At the minute, I think each stage is still winning. So check out the poll, and I'll close it at some point soon. So at the minute, we're working on more of the front chassis. So it looks like we've got strengthening rod, a couple of other parts going in there, and also the steering assembly as well. Right, so these are our parts. We've got a couple of chunky bits of metal, and we've got some plastic parts as well. First thing we're going to be doing is bringing over our chassis, and with it this way up, we're going to take this piece, and that's going to sit on those two locating lugs there. We're actually going to secure it first of all with these two holes here, going into the two drop links that we put in. So one there and one there. We're going to secure that with two AM screws. Now, I've got a feeling that there's going to be a lot of screwing into metal, so I do have my pot of WD-40 to hand, and that will just help get these screws to go into the metal parts. Now, any oil will do. It just so happens that I have WD-40 in the workshop. And with those two screws in, we're going to take these two parts, and they're going to sit just there and there. We're going to use two more AM screws in each of those to secure that in place. Next up, we're going to take this chunk of metal, and we're just going to place it on the back there, and we're going to secure that in place with two BM screws. One in there. And the other one just going in here. And with that in there, we now have this plate that's going to cover that hole up. We've got some IM screws to go in there. And there's the last one, just there. Make sure that these are fully tightened. Next, we're going to take this steering rod, and with it this way up, so this is facing the upwards direction, because this is the underside of the car. We're just going to push it onto these two lugs here. This side's actually feeling quite stiff to go on. So we've just got a little bit too much paint there. So I'm just going to put a bit of oil on there. And if we wiggle that on there, That will strip out the paint a little bit and make it fit on there a little bit nicer. So hopefully we can actually steer the vehicle. Going to secure that with 2 screws. So that's our steering linkage in, and that's all there's to do in that stage. Right, so that's going to move us on to 22, and this is the exciting stage where we have the massive piece of metal. So as you can see, we have the main chassis of the car. Got a couple of other bits and pieces as well. So we're going to be adding a couple of parts to there. We're going to be attaching the front sub-assembly to the chassis. And it looks like we've got a couple of pipes that we need to run as well. And then they have given us some tape, so we can tape those in place as well. Right, so here it is, this huge chunk of metal, looking absolutely brilliant. Looks lovely in the matte black, and you can see that it's been stamped with all this detail work as well. Now, as I say, we do have roller tape, we've got a pipe, we've got some IM screws, we have some BM screws, and we have this little detail piece as well. Right, so first thing we're going to do is take our fuel line and our fuel filter, and this is going to go onto the end of here. Now that's actually quite a tight fit at the minute. Obviously that'd be good if it doesn't come off, but I'm struggling to actually get that to go on. So if I just dip the end of this into some hot water, it'll actually make it a lot more pliable, and it'll actually expand the rubber a little bit. So then we can get that to go on there without an issue. And as that cools, that'll contract and shrink back onto that pipe. And theoretically, it won't need glue and it won't come off. Famous last words. We all know how the Knight Rider build went and the Batmobile with all its pipes and things. But to be fair, no one's ever looking at these pipes. Right, so what we're doing with this is we're going to be attaching it just here. Now there's a locating lug here that's going to go in here. And we have a single screw hole for an IM screw. Right, so with our fuel filter in and fuel line, we're going to bring over our sub-assembly and making sure not to trap that cable or any of these cables. We're going to attach this like this. We're going to use 2 BM screws here and 2 BM screws here. Just got the last one going in here. Now you are going to want to make sure these are nice and tight. So I have switched to my PH1 screwdriver just to give me that little extra leverage. I can just ensure that these are all nice and tight. Like so. So that's effectively the full length of our vehicle now. Next, what we need to do is take our pipework, which I'd left neatly coiled up. So I just need to unravel those. So with those unraveled, they're basically going to run down the center of the vehicle here. And we're going to use some tape to hold those in place. And the way these run is the one closest to the bulkhead here, that's going to go on this inside section, and then the one further forward is going to run this side. Now we all know that it's not really going to matter by the time we come to the end of here, but we will do it as the instructions tell us to. And they're basically just going to run down the center here. So they're taped in place. I've left a little bit of slack there. And then these ones I'm going to try and get fairly tight. And we're just going to place another piece of tape just in here. And that is all to do in that stage. Right, stage 23. As you can see, I've not moved the chassis too far away because I believe in this one we're actually mounting the engine to it. So we've got chassis reinforcements. So we've got those going into the chassis using some AP screws. We've got a pipe going onto the engine, and then we've got the engine and gearbox going into the chassis, as you can see. Right, so these are our parts. We've got our chassis rails. They are marked left and right, but I also assume that they only fit in one way around anyway. So we'll bring over our chassis. So we've got the left one here, which is going to be this side. And that will fit in like that. And then we've got the right hand side one, which is going to go this way around. Just making sure that these lugs go into these holes here. Like so. I'm going to flip it over and secure those in place with 3 AP screws in each of them. So 1, 2, 3 there, and 1, 2, 3 there. Last one just going in there. Move that to one side just for a second. Now we're going to bring over our engine. And on the nipple, you can just see there, we're going to be placing this cable. And I've just put this in some hot water, just so we can warm it up, which will make it easier to go onto the end of this. You're definitely going to need some tweezers to do this. Right, so we've got that on there. And now we're actually going to be mounting this engine. So bring the chassis over. Now it's not actually telling us where this cable needs to go. I'm assuming it's going to go this way. But the engine's going to go right back and it's going to sit onto these 2 mounts here with these 2 engine mounts. So that's sat in like that and on those 2 mounts. We're going to use 2 BM screws to actually secure that in place. So just holding the engine in place like so. And now get both of those fully tightened up. And we'll tip the car over. Now, so just be careful of your engine with it this way up. Next, we've got this piece that's going to go in here. And what we need to do is obviously just push that engine in. So that's going to sit like so. We've got 4 AM screws that are going to secure that in place. Now, it probably isn't a good idea to have the car on its side once you've got one of these screws in at least, and then you're not risking damaging the engine anymore. Right. So with those 4 in, we've got 2 more BM screws that are going to go into there. Right, so that's all secured on the bottom. What we're going to do now is take this pipe, which is the one that comes from the fuel filter, and that is going to go just on the end here. Like so. And the last connection we're going to actually making is this one. And that's going to go onto the inner part, or the inner pipe of that piece on the engine. Just like that. And that is all to do in that stage. Right, stage 24. And we've got another part of chassis reinforcement. So we've got a plate to put in. So not much to do there. Right, so here's our part. It's just a bit of plastic, and we've got some IP screws. Right, just going to turn our chassis over. Again, just watch out for that engine. Careful not to trap our cables we put in a minute ago. But that's going to sit in like that. I'm going to flip that back over, and using 4 IP screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm just going to get that screwed in place. Just making sure that's fully pushed up in there. So just supporting it from underneath whilst I screw this in. Now, I don't yet know where any of the electronics are going to go, but looking at these 4 points here, I suspect it might be on this plastic piece, which, to be fair, might make it a lot easier for a power mod to go into this. So we shall see what becomes of that, because it's much easier drilling through plastic than it is through metal. But that's all there's to do in that stage. I'll finish off by combining the last 2 issues, because we're pretty much doing the same thing left and right. So final flip through these 2 magazines. We've got the rear left wheel arch, so that's going in there, as you can see. And then in 26 we've got the other one. So final flip through this one. And then you can see we've got the right rear wheel arch. Right, so bringing our chassis over, we've got the left wheel arch here. Now I am going to do 25 and 26 in tandem, because, as I say, they are pretty much the same thing, just on opposite sides of the car. So that's our left one in place. This is our right hand side one, just going in there the same way, like so. And we're going to use 2 BM screws in each of those, so 2 there and 2 there. Next up we have this piece, again marked with an L. That's going to sit just like that, and we're going to use 2 IP screws to secure that one in place, and the right hand side one we're going to do exactly the same, 2 IP screws in there. And with this screw going in here, that is the last item to do, and the last item to do in that build pack. But doesn't that look absolutely fantastic? So we now have pretty much our full chassis. So it looks like this is probably going to build up almost identical to how the Skyline did. Also, we did wait quite some time to put the front sub-assembly on the Skyline, whereas we've got it front and centre now on this one. We've got our engine mounted, looking absolutely brilliant. And also we've got the rear wings going in. So I'm assuming that logic would say that maybe next stage we'll be building up more of the rear sub-assembly here. But we shall wait to find out. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button below and give us a massive thumbs up. So that's our Supra done for this month, and it just got a lot bigger. That was quite a large pack for not really many parts, but obviously having that massive chassis piece has certainly extended the size of this quite rapidly. I don't know obviously what we're going to be doing next. I'm assuming that we might be building up maybe more the rear end, get the rear axle in place maybe. It'd be interesting to see how it builds up, whether it's more like the Skyline or whether it's more like the Batmobile. Now the Batmobile, we had the rolling chassis, etc. Before building up the rest of it. The Skyline seemed to be a little bit hit and miss. We did build the chassis, but we didn't put any of the sub frame in, so to support obviously the car, the wheels, etc. So we'll see how that progresses. And if you want to see how this progresses, do remember to hit the subscribe button and ding the bell for notifications. That way you won't miss out on future videos. And it is 100% free. A lot of people that are watching this video, probably about 50 to 60%, I think, when I check my stats, don't hit that subscribe button because they think they have to pay for it. And if you're enjoying this content, why not hit the subscribe button, then you don't miss out on future videos. Until next time, I'll see you around. Cheers.